Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk to you about the different themes that I've noticed coming up with the Lionsgate portal that just closed out last weekend, as well as some general themes in the collective. If you aren't watching this when I upload this video, it is still relevant. You can still gain something from it, I'm sure. So please stick around and let's get into this video. So the first theme is physical health. There's quite a lot coming through here with the physical health that I've been noticing. First is just general taking care of your body, taking care of your environment, and creating a safe and comfortable place for you to exist. The second thing is that we are in this period of preparation, and this permeates all aspects of your being, of the collective, of the planet, etc. But through physical health, it's coming through as making sure you're getting the right vitamins and minerals, making sure that you are moving your body around so that energy isn't stagnating, creating a healthy schedule for your sleeping, for your meals, and making sure that the foods that you eat are nourishing. There is this understanding that when you are going through something that is particularly taxing on any part of your being, you have to be in optimal health in order for you to fully integrate that experience. And that is exactly what's coming through right now. And in my readings leading up to the portal and the portal readings themselves, is that the physical body is going to be a vessel, an antenna for a lot of new information, experiences, and understandings. And because of this, we need to be optimizing our physical health so that when these things come through, and while they come through, it's going to be a much smoother integration. You won't have as many migraines. You won't necessarily be getting any other muscle spasms, gastrointestinal things. These are different things that are coming through as examples. But if we aren't preparing our bodies for this download of information, for this upgrade in human consciousness, it's going to have a lag time. It's kind of like when you turn a computer on and it hasn't updated in a while and it's finishing an update, but it has to update all the back updates first, and it just takes a long time, and then everything is kind of glitchy because it's jumping through the different updates, and there's like these overlays of information that it's having a hard time sorting through because it hasn't been updated in so long. And you have to kind of be patient with it, because if you're not patient with it, you can get very frustrated and angry because all of these different things are coinciding and making the whole process be very slow and glitchy. And this is what will essentially be happening to us if we aren't preparing ourselves fully for this type of work. This is pretty high energy, high frequency stuff that's happening, is what I'm getting. There is, those of you that are listening to this, I'm sure you already understand a lot of this, but this isn't for the casual spiritualist, is what I'm hearing. It's kind of funny. It's like, this is really heavy duty stuff, and it's something that you want to commit to, right? It's not like I'm just gonna do a cleanse this week. It's a lifestyle shift, it's a lifestyle transition, and it's something that you are most likely already on the path of. It's something that you've already committed to as a journey for your life. Optimization of the vessel in order to have a clearer channel for your divine self. So yes, a preparatory theme of the body, mind, and spirit or soul is a huge theme right now that I have been picking up in and around the portal. Think of yourself and humanity as a whole right now, but yourself specifically as someone who is an initiate, and you are being prepared to be completely initiated. Like your initiation period is over and you are doing the final ritual to allow yourself into the realm of whatever it is you're being initiated into. So that might include having a specific diet for the weeks or months leading up to the ritual. It might be taking a ritual bath with very specific salts and herbs to prepare your physical body for the best absorption, and to also allow your body to open to receiving this new energy and understanding. You may need to be doing meditations and yoga in order to prepare your mind, to quiet it down in order to receive this information. You may be doing balancing of your energy and reconnecting with your higher self in order to, again, bring as many parts of your perspective as you can to the table when you undergo the final stage of this initiation. This is the energy that I am receiving as a marker for the Lionsgate 2023, but also in general. And again, if you aren't watching this when I am uploading it, that's totally fine. You can still apply this to yourself. It's just more of an individual level maybe than a holistic level, although it could be another initiatory window in humanity. Or not humanity. Maybe you're not a human. Additionally, with this initiatory understanding is the part of studying where you have to prime your mind by studying in order to understand the higher knowledge. You can't just jump right into level 1000. You have to do the framework, groundwork first, right? Like if you're building a house, you have to build the foundation first. And this is what I am understanding this preparation and initiation to be. So you may be learning a lot of new things that maybe you've heard before, but you hadn't taken a really strong look at, or you may feel like you have just done that. So you might have just gone through a big deep dive on a bunch of different spiritual, esoteric, or even physical topics where it really changed and altered your perception of reality. This is that priming of the mind, preparing you to receive a much larger understanding of the universe. So there are a few other things that came through, but they all still fall under the same theme as preparatory, initiatory type of energies. So we have this galactic contact theme, contact with other realms, downloads of philosophy and mindset shifts. And the galactics that came through with me specifically were the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, and Lyra. And also this sensation of mask dropping. So maybe you are someone who has practiced or thought of or studied a lot of things that were not necessarily widely known, and you've been studying them for a while, and now all of a sudden you're talking about them. And maybe you were afraid before, or maybe you just thought nobody would listen, but now all of a sudden it's just coming out of you. It's not something you have to put effort into. It's just there, and people are interested, and maybe you just happen to be in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people, if that makes sense. So that's that bit with the mask dropping. It's like, this is who I am. And there's no drama, there's no hoopla about it. It's very straightforward, and it's just factual. With the galactic contact, I mean, that's kind of paralleling the whole disclosure occurrences in the US right now anyway, but the galactic contact, what I'm feeling the most is that they are working to encourage us, both in that they are here with us, the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, and Lyran collective specifically, at least for my collective that's listening. There may be some others that are coming through with different channels, but I'm getting that they are mostly contacting and coming through to reassure us at this time that we aren't alone, that they are here with us, and that they are helping us and guiding us, and that we chose into this guidance relationship with them. This is important because in the theme of priming us for this new understanding, this new energy wave that's coming through soon, we have to prepare our emotions as well. We can't be out here preparing our body and mind and spirit and having our emotions be all over the place, because if we're afraid, we're not going to receive it clearly. Our emotions are incredibly powerful when it comes to our perception. So I feel that they are coming through predominantly to reassure us, to provide us that feeling and sensation of being contained so that we don't have that fear cropping up when this happens. So you may be seeing a lot of messages from different star systems or other realms, like the dragons have been coming through a lot lately too. The dragons, the fae, and the ocean spirits. But what I am getting is that they're here kind of holding our hands, saying, yep, we've got you, we're here, we're protecting you, we're making sure that this goes by smoothly. And they are, of course, anyway, but they are specifically telling us to soothe our anxieties that may come up while we are going through this experience. I have also been receiving a lot of messages, which I have channeled through here in some of my recent videos as well, to be in community with others. And this is something that is also coming through from the galactics as well. They are encouraging us to find 3D physical human beings who, even if we don't form super close, tight-knit bonds with, they are encouraging us to be around people who understand this stuff. For those readings, sometimes it wasn't necessarily spiritual things, downloads, galactic information, all of that, but in general, like more generally, things that you are interested in, which is perfect and amazing. You need that sense of camaraderie and positive reflection. However, in this message for Lionsgate right now, and for whenever you're watching this, they are encouraging us to find people specifically involved in the spiritual understandings that we are involved in. Because just like we needed reassurance emotionally that they are here with us, guiding us, protecting us, etc., we also need that 3D positive reflection. Again, I mentioned this in one of the other readings that you can do this online, but it's going to be much, much better and effective if you can find people in person. Even if all that is joining some seminars or going to a couple of metaphysical supply stores nearby you and just saying hey to people. It doesn't have to be super involved, but you need to be immersing yourself with people like you on a regular basis, at least for the next year. So do what you can. Obviously, not everyone has access to that, but, and like I said, the online is okay, but to be in person is going to be the best. And I'm hearing like once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month is probably fine. You just need some consistent reminders that you're not crazy, you're not out here alone, you're not in the wild, wild west. You are on a journey, on a mission that many, many other people are on with you. It's not everyone on the planet yet, but there are many others. It is so easy to feel incredibly isolated when we are on this path. And the galactics are encouraging us and wanting us to feel that understanding that we are not alone, that we don't have to bear the weight of the world, the universe on our shoulders alone. We are not Atlas, and we do not need to take up the trauma of Atlas anymore. Another thing that's come up is water intelligence, water entities, water spirits, and just the symbolism of water in general. I did a big reading for Salacia, the goddess of the sea, which you can watch. I'll link the ones that are relevant to this reading in the description box. But that was a really wonderful experience and reading. And a lot of this is coming through in the astrology as well, of course, and you can check that out. My favorite astrologer online is Pam Gregory. And in line with the water, she actually just did an interview with Veda Austin. Veda Austin has been doing crystallography with water, where she is getting images in the structure of the water that directly reflect intention, emotion, or objects that are placed near and around the water for 30 seconds at a time. I have actually done some of this crystallography as well, and I have had some pretty interesting results too, and they are comparable to Veda's work. I'm going to do a lot more, and maybe I'll share that with you guys if you are interested, but it's incredibly interesting and exciting to me, and I will link that interview below as well. But in general, understanding that water is conscious, water is aware, water is a memory keeper, a storer of energies, and we directly interact with it on a daily basis, right? We drink water, we eat things with water. We are so full of water. It's like 70 to 90%, depending on how you're measuring it. We are made of water. And this work that we are doing to better understand water is so imperative because it is such a huge part of us and our personal existence and the planetary existence and all of the other creatures and beings on this planet. A final message that's coming through is actually about whales. I didn't write this down in my reflection, but I did want to mention this. It just came through and grabbed my attention. So the whales, I haven't really looked into it too deeply, but what my understanding is that there are a lot of whales that are beaching themselves lately in groups, and there are some scientists that say nothing's changed, this happens all the time, and there are others that are like, no, this is really bizarre, there's way too many, there's so many whales. And specifically in groups is what I'm hearing, and this is something that is very interesting because the whales are these sonic creatures. They have a song that they constantly are singing and holding in the water, which holds that resonance and carries it through and resonates anything that also has water. So these whales, having been beaching themselves, are ending their song, and there is the sensation of ending, but with every ending there is a beginning. And so I'm not quite sure what the point of this message is. I just know it wants to come through, so I'm letting it, and maybe it will mean something to you. Maybe this will be a launching off point for you. You might want to look into this if this is something that is interesting to you. But there is this understanding that's coming to me that the song is ending and a new song is beginning. And it's almost like they're passing the torch along. I really don't know much more about it. So that I'm leaving that where it is. And if it means something to you, then definitely leave a comment. I'd love to know what this message was about. So I did pull a few cards for today to do a short collective reading. We are using the Spirit Song Tarot, and we have the Ace of Shells, the Hanged Man, and the Nine of Feathers. So yeah, with the Ace of Shells, this is like a new emotional beginning. It's like everything is getting washed out, and we are getting a new start. So this energy of having this preparation, cleansing, starting fresh so that we can uptake more information is coming through here and being emphasized again. We have a turtle on this card, and then we have the hanged man with a praying mantis. The hanged man is that sensation of waiting. We are suspending ourselves and waiting so that our path comes to us. And this also is sort of emphasizing this initiatory act. We are cleansing ourselves, bathing ourselves, preparing ourselves, meditating and waiting, opening. And when we are open enough and have held the energy for long enough, the information will just hit us at light speed. Warp speed. I was corrected. Excuse me. And then we have the 9 of feathers with a porcupine. Yeah, I think this one is explaining to me that it's going to be a pretty intense journey, and there is going to be a lot of information coming through, and not all of it is going to be love and light and prettiness. Some of it is going to be realization of just how fucked up our planet has become, just how messed up our systems are, just how unhealthy human beings are in relation to one another, in relation to the planet, in relation to the universe at large. There is going to be a lot of fear mongering, a lot of unpleasantness coming up in the collective of humanity, and it could potentially scare people who aren't ready, which is why it is so important for us to be ready so that we can hold that light and remain bearers of that light, just like the whales hold the song and sing the song for the planet. We too are holding that vibration, and we are holding that light, and in order to do so, in order to receive the light and remain a clear channel for the divine, for unity, for understanding, acceptance, compassion, we have to be prepared. And this isn't to say that it's going to be a bad experience. For those of us who are able to hold this light, what we will be experiencing is light. But for those who are not, they are going to be very confused, sad, scared, maybe anxious, and they are going to need people like us more than ever. And they may not have acknowledged us in the past, but now they're going to need people to hold open the gateway, is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like there is a dark room or a dark area, and there are some people that you can't really see, and they're because of the light in the back behind them, and they have white curtains, and you can see the light coming through the curtains, and they are holding the curtains open for the people to come out. I'm hearing refugees. So I think that if you're listening to this reading right now, if you're understanding this information, even if you're not and you're allowing it to wash over you, you are one of these light bearers. You are one of these light heralds, and our job is simply to hold this space open, not for others necessarily, but for the divine, and the divine will do the rest. It is not your energy that you should be expending. It is energy that is coming through you that will be this energy of light, the energy of the song and the sound. And then, of course, we have the world at the bottom of the deck with a whale on the image, and it's this is definitely giving me New Earth vibes, and this destruction, this shakeup, and our call to hold the light is, I'm actually seeing in Star Trek when they have the off-site transporter refinement beam things. They're like these little posts that they have to create a triangle with or a grid with and stand inside of it in order for the transporter to effectively collect their data so that they can be beamed up. And so this is kind of like what we are doing. We are those transporter modulators to hold this light, to contain this energy in order to allow it to translate through to this planet more effectively. We are the grid. We are the wiring. We are the receivers. And all we need to do is exist in this way. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this resonated. Leave a comment below if you would like to. I'd love to hear what you have been experiencing for this Lionsgate or whenever you are watching, what downloads you've been receiving, what energy updates, what inclinations you have had to add or subtract from your life. Like this video if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd love to see this channel grow. I'd love to have more of us in this community supporting each other and giving each other that positive reflection we need, if only online. Until next time.